are live. It's Chris Denman, and I'm one-on-one today for a special conversation with the headliner from Helium Comedy Club. He's here all weekend long. You know him from About Last Night podcast. You've heard him on Adam Carolla's podcast. He's doing a bunch of exciting stuff. Got to see him down in Phoenix for all things comedy. I think I talked about that a little bit. Very excited to have Adam Ray. What's up, buddy?
Dude, I'm just fired up to be in St. Louis.
It's beautiful here. Does it remind you of Seattle right now? Kind of got the haze going.
A little bit, yeah.
Not quite as many gunshots.
Not as melancholy gunshots. Is that a thing in Seattle? Maybe downtown.
Here.
Here.
Yeah.
Oh, not as many. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to kind of wade through that a little more.
Yeah, there's more people that, I know the suicide rate in Seattle. And look, a lot of people are wondering, hey, are they going to just jump right into death and suicide on this podcast? Yeah. And yeah, we are. It's
I tweeted that out.
Okay, good. They got the heads up.
Good.
It's not like I think it's going down, but I never knew that was even like an issue in Seattle until I moved away, and then you think about what you grew up in, and you're like, oh yeah. But see, my way to deal with the shitty weather was making weird home videos with my buddies, and like from like 7th grade through high school, like watching the state and stuff like that, and then trying to just fill the time, or basketball, like things indoors that to try to pass the time and not get depressed about the weather. So I guess I didn't really understand how depressed you could get because I was always trying to keep myself occupied.
Seattle's a beautiful place.
It's gorgeous.
Did you grow up in Seattle?
Shoreline Lake Forest Park is about 25 minutes north, but
it's beautiful there.
Yeah, I loved it.
But it's funny too. I've been to. I'll never forget. I'm in Honduras, literally a third world country, and some people from the BBC were there filming some documentary. We're walking around. We're doing this project down there, and they asked us, "Oh, hey, where are you guys from?" And I was like, "St. Louis," and they were like, "Ooh." They gave us one of those. And I'm
Damn.
like, we're in Honduras right now. People are getting abducted left and right. And you're gonna flinch when you hear I'm from St. Louis.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but
that's not a good sign.
No, it's not really. But it's interesting to see kind of when you get out and about a little bit. You said the state. Have you worked with? Was that Thomas Lennon?
Yeah, I just did.
Yeah. Have you worked with him? Did you have him on the podcast?
I just had him on the podcast only because I just did this indie comedy in Arizona that I'm the lead of. Jonathan Kai was in it too, and Richard Kind and Kellen Coleman, and Thomas Lennon's like the bad guy, and I'm the main guy, and it was fucking unbelievable. We got to improvise so much, and he's a god to me. And
pee yourself just a little.
Yeah, and it was just like one of those things that definitely a little intimidated at first, and then you just kind of settle in and go, all right, like I know what I'm doing at this point, so just like trust your shit, and like, and we started playing around, and man, we were both breaking so much, and like on the second day, he was like. We all went out and did like a cast dinner, and he was like, we were cheersing and taking a shot or whatever, and he's like, dude, he's like, this is so fun. He's like, I usually never break, man. He's like, you're saying some funny shit. He's like, this is really fun to like play like this, and I'm like, fucking, it is, Tom Lennon, you're the man. Like, can we be friends forever?
You follow me on Instagram, dude. Dude, that's amazing.
But that. So then once we got, once somebody. Recognizes and respects what you're doing and at least puts you, I mean, look, he is like, again, like I said, like a god, so I don't put myself in his boat, but to be able to hang with him, he is cool. So then that made me, and then even just hanging offset, like he's a fun hang. And so then I immediately was like, hey man, when we get back, we do the pod. And I was thinking it was going to be maybe later, but then I always try for earlier because I'm like, that'd be better because I'd love to, ride the freshness of just doing the movie.
Yeah.
And it was so great. And those state days, I mean, those were like that. And Joel McHale was on a show called Almost Live that was like SNL for Seattle when I was in high school. So that was another sketch thing that was really influential that wasn't like in Living Color or SNL, but yeah, man.
That you can tap into.
Yeah.
That's so crazy too. And then even with social media now, Reno 911 stuff is just making the rounds again. So Thomas Lennon, everybody's like, oh, that guy from the Boot video
I know.
You see, and like, which by the way, one of the funniest things
so funny
I've seen in my life.
They might come back.
Does that affect you at all? I mean,
what's that?
I in a good way. I love reacting to and just kind of finding my own lane with people I respect and kind of grew up watching.
Right.
And then you find them in one way, shape, or form, whether it's having a conversation or doing a damn movie with a guy like that. Do you find yourself kind of pinching yourself a little bit? I saw you had an Instagram comment that you got a little juicy.
Oh yeah, just got a comment from the Tiffany Thiessen. I say Tiffany Amber still because come on, that's what the poster said in my room, and that's what she kept her name in our wedding in my NyQuil dreams.
Right.
But
that makes sense.
so she's gonna be on my podcast, the About Last Night podcast, on Monday. And so I tagged her in the picture, and she commented on it. And I'll be honest, I was at her house. I talked to her. I drank coffee from her coffee mug.
Right.
Took a picture on her swing set, but she just commented, and guess what? Fucking a little bit of pee came out.
That means more.
Yeah, that means a lot more because that's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had this whole plan where I was going to brag to you how we did this show with the Sklar brothers and Nikki Glazer this weekend.
Also cool.
Nikki was just commenting on my Instagram, and then you had to come in and smash
Sorry, dude.
me with freaking Kelly
Yep.
Kapowski.
Did she fucking go to the dance with Zach?
No.
Nikki? No, she didn't. Did the Sklar brothers save Slater from a fight? Nope.
Sure didn't.
Nope.
Yeah, bet they wish they could.
Everybody wishes they could.
Yeah.
She told so many.
Notes now.
By the way, if you are a Saved by the Bell fan or a 90210 fan, you got to tune into this app.
Is there some dirt?
Not so much some dirt, but just some like really great. Yeah, and I mean, dude, she said her and Mark Paul Gosselaar were going to like Italy at 16, like traveling the world because the show was so big internationally. She's also just a fun hangman and was like, because at one point I was knew I was going to make the comment about going from Saved by the Bell to 90210 and possibly make a joke like, what was that like going from a show where the issues on one show where he didn't ask me to the dance to that girl's fucking my best friend,
to doing cocaine at the
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think she was rolling a joint in the first episode that she was on in 90210. And I was like, oh, maybe I won't say fucking. She's a mom and I'm going to feel her out. But she was cursing like when we first sat down. So I was like, all right, she's game.
Is
But
she married to somebody famous?
He's an artist. I don't know if he's famous, but his art is dope. But she went to middle school with Snoop in Long Beach. And so she had all these Snoop stories, like from fucking 8th grade.
Like being Calvin.
Yeah.
That would be weird being like a freshman in high school and like looking at a sophomore and being like, call me Snoop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody's gonna buy in.
I don't think so. She said he had, just all that charisma though, and was just like, kind of.
He feels like he's
big man on
now,
campus.
too.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of that, talk about your career for a little bit. Man.
Sure.
It feels like. I've obviously been following you for quite a while. It's been fun watching just everything expand. I mean, movie roles, TV roles. I remember, and you were probably, I can't remember if it was on your show or maybe one of the podcasts that you go on regularly. You were talking about just getting that guest spot on, I call it a guest spot on Curb.
Oh, yeah.
A small role,
Yeah.
but iconic, right?
Yeah.
Like you get to say you did Curb.
Yeah.
And it was
With
really,
Larry too. So that was like.
Yeah, with him in that too. So you've done that. You've been in Ghostbusters. You got a bunch of stuff cooking. You just did this where you were the star. So I'm
American Vandal. Have you watched American Vandal?
I haven't seen it.
You've never seen American Vandal?
I haven't freaking seen it, man.
Oh,
I'm too
dude.
busy. I need to watch.
No,
it.
it's.
Travis, who I do the show with, obsessed with it. So
Oh, is he?
hilarious.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's in its second season on Netflix, and the first one was kind of like a cult hit. It's about these. It's like a crime documentary, and it's shot so realistic that people think it's for real. So the first season was about this kid who vandalized a high school drawing dicks on everything, and these two kids try to crack the case. And so the second season is them going to a different high school, and it's all poop-related crimes. And I play one of the cops at the high school. And dude, the like cell phone video they used in the show, like of people shitting, people were reposting, being like, "You guys see what happened at this high school?" But it's just shot so brilliantly that the guys that put it together. So anyway, it's a good. It's who doesn't like a good crime doc, and then like to have the comedy be so, prevalent is pretty dope.
It's like almost cheating. You come up with a genius format like that, right?
For sure.
It feels like you're kind of pulling one over on people.
But I hear you. I don't make a lot of time for TV shows either, but that was one even before, and that's why I was nudging my buddy so much. I was like, "You got to find something for me in this." He directed the first one and the second one.
Is that right?
Yeah, and people would think too, and I'm always quick to say like, just like it does help to have relationships in the business, but like that didn't guarantee me anything. He knows
you better be able to back it up.
Well, he also knows a lot of funny people,
right.
So it's like, and he goes, yeah, of course I would love if we could find something for you. He goes, but guess what, man? There's just not in the second season. He goes, all these high school things, and then the teachers are all older. He goes, there is this role of a cop, and I was in Japan with Adam Devine at the time, doing all these shows for the troops, and he goes, there's a cop that's like supposed to be like 60, 65. And he's like, but you can put yourself on tape and see, maybe, can change their mind or whatever. So I was like, yeah, if that's, give me whatever there's even close that I can try to have an opportunity at. And so did that. And then they liked that. So they sent back and said, can you send a video of you improvising like one of your greatest moments on the force? And so I sent back that. And then they were like, oh, all these people like it. We just got to get Netflix and these to sign off. And then also I had to be a local hire. So I had to get myself up there, and my dad lives not too far away, so I just crashed with him. And but again, it was like one of those things that I was like, oh, so a flight would be the thing getting in my way of not doing this? I was like, and I've done that for a bunch of things. There's this J-Lo movie that comes out in a few weeks called Second Act that I have a little part in.
Larry Miller in that?
Maybe.
I think he is.
And Selena Gomez and Milo, the guy from This Is Us. He was in Heroes 2, Milo.
Okay, yeah.
Whatever. So it's a J-Lo, rom-com, whatever. This guy, Peter Segal, did it, who did Nutty Professor, Tommy Boy, 50 First Dates. By the way, his episode of our podcast.
50 First Dates, yeah.
So fucking good. First of all, he tells the making of Tommy Boy on our podcast. It's on,
How old are you?
36.
Okay, 34.
Yeah.
Brad's around that age.
Brad's
too.
34. In Dwarf Years, I think he's 72.
That's good.
Yeah.
Not much time.
Yeah, no, he's we're all praying for him. So, but the making of Tommy Boy, dude,
I was like,
fucking
people our age when you say Tommy Boy.
Yes.
They make us look. We go,
oh yeah,
Tommy Boy?
Dude, it's and then even these Nutty Professor stories that he would tell about, because I was like, dude, I think Eddie should have won an Oscar for that movie. I was like, it's so bonkers that it was not even considered. I go, nobody else could do that. Play that. I go, that Thanksgiving or whatever dinner scene when he's in all the family members. He goes, they would do put a tennis ball on these heads at the table for each family member. Eddie would improvise these full on, multiple takes as one family member. Then Peter had to take notes and remember, and then Eddie only trusted Peter, the director, to improvise with. So then he would have to take all these notes, improvise with him. He said Eddie would do all this shit, not write anything down as like the mom, and then do it, come back as the brother, and improvise a whole bunch of new shit with the mom and with everybody else. But remember what he said to the mom as the brother, so he could do that. He was just like, it was fucking unbelievable. And I'm like, and on top of that, the performance, I mean, it was just so good. Anyway, so he, just to piggyback on the American Vandal thing, he was doing this J-Lo movie in New York, and I was like, I hit him up, and I was like, man, I'm going out there for a bunch this year. Like, is there something I could, try to put myself on tape for or whatever? You don't ask, you don't get. I definitely subscribe to that,
You have to, too.
Yeah.
We mentioned the Corolla stuff that you're working with him a bunch, too. Like, and he's not at the point where maybe he needs to ask a bunch, but he's a doer all the time. And I know I'll talk about him 50 more times. I just love his work ethic and everything. But you have to do that, and asking for things is a function of that.
Yeah.
Because again, everybody's got options, and you can't be narcissistic enough to think they're going to even think of you. But
Yes.
you put yourself out there, and you can back it up.
I think it's also understanding if you have you got to read the room and know that, like, look, if I never met Peter and I just blindly emailed him, yeah, obviously that's you don't ask, you don't get, because, hey, man, well, again, you can ask, you're definitely not getting, because, like, you have no context to this. But having him on the pod and having gotten to know him a little bit from some pilot I tested for that didn't go, that he was directing, and that's how I kept in touch. And he knew Paul Feig, and so I kind of bridged that gap to get him on the pod. And then hit him up, and he was like, yeah, there's this little scene with Jennifer. Put yourself on tape for it, and if you can get out here. And it was when I was going out there to do shows. So I was like, the timing is perfect. And so he's like, hey, you can do it. And it was just one day, and because he loves comedy and loved having me around, there were only a handful of comedians I think that were in the movie, and he just kept adding me to more and more scenes and would let me improvise, and we improvised this whole scene with me and Jennifer, which I don't think is going to be in it, but like we fucking did it. So I had a fucking 30-minute scene, just me and her.
Surprise you a little bit? Or maybe you were going in expecting her.
She was dope. Well, I made a weird joke as soon as I met her. I hadn't slept on the flight, took a red eye, and then got in, and then literally went right to set, and was so like fucking delirious. And I meet her, and Peter goes, "Hey, Jennifer, this is Adam," and she goes, "Hey," and she goes, "So how do you guys know each other?" And I go, "Oh, we used to fuck."
Nice.
I said that to her about me and Peter.
Right.
She kind of cracks a little smile and then goes, "What?" And then. And then Peter kind of looked at me like smiling, like almost shaking his head, and then she goes, "Oh," and I go, "No, I'm just kidding. We still fuck." And just doubling down on the weirdness, yeah. And then she kind of like, she goes, "Good to know." And then I was like, "Yep." And I go, "Probably shouldn't have said any of that." And then she kind of laughed, and then And then we kind of jumped, and that was like, I mean, it was fucking, 10 a.m. at that point. I had gone ahead and slept, but she was a pro, man, and just like, there was a point too where I started to improvise in one of the takes, and I like could hear myself. I started to step out of myself and be like, dude, you're like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And I remember I just saw like something almost change in her eye where she was looking at me, and like, her as the actor was being removed, and it was her as a person just being like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I just like, and then after I went over, I was like, man, I'm sorry, that one was just a little. She's like, no, she's like, I was just like trying to follow like what you were, because there's also like trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, like trying to stretch out. But that's what he wanted too. He was giving me full range to be like, hey man, fucking go for it. He's like, we can always cut it down or not use it. And so what are you going to do? Like, you get one shot, scene with J-Lo, you're going to fucking just say your 2 lines and get out of there?
Nobody remembers that.
No.
Right? God, that's so
Although they might, because I think that's what I got.
Yeah.
But again, I'll take it.
Yes.
And now, guess what, man? I'm going to the fucking, my friend is the, there's no reason for me to be at that premiere, but I'm going to go because my friend from college is actually the head of this company that like buys the scripts and stuff.
Really?
STX is the company, right? And they did like Bad Moms and Melissa McCarthy's The Happy Time Murders, and there's a couple others that are bigger ones. But so this is like one of their next big ones. But so I'm gonna go to the premiere to hang, but also like fuck man, like trying to get some potential podcast guests. These premiere parties, like gotta get Selena Gomez and fucking Milo friggin' immersion, whatever the fuck is, Jack from This Is Us.
Sure. Get the St. Louis guy. Get Sterling.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. Sterling.
Yes.
Sterling. He's from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yes, Sterling.
But also throw a Hail Mary at J-Lo. And maybe A-Rod's there and talk to him about Seattle days,
Well, that's the thing where it's like, do you book your own podcast or do you help with it?
No, I book it.
I was just saying.
It's all me, yeah.
I've emailed with you before, and that should tell people, like, if you're listening right now, and you think that this guy's literally in a movie with J-Lo and he's booking his oome podcast. Like, that's how you get shit done.
Yeah.
It's the only way to get shit done.
I mean, I'm going to try, dude. If I get a moment with her, I'm going. I mean, again, you feel it out. It's like if she's.
You don't want to force it in there.
No.
But
got to get a little rapport. And what I do sometimes is like if I get, if at the premiere, if she even goes and we have any sort of little moment. And then
drop by.
Or afterwards, then reach out to my friend who runs the company to get her publicist info and be like, "Hey, that guy at the party," and then she if she has like some positive connotations about, "Oh yeah, he was kind of cool. Oh, and he's in it, yeah," and then Sandra Bullock's been on too. Oh, and there's all these cool people. Then maybe that'll validate it. Because then to try to like panic rush, suggest it. If you don't have enough like rapport, can be a big turnoff. I find, because I think about like on a much lower level. In my case, like when I've been asked to do podcasts and
really low level.
Right, yeah. When I asked to do podcasts and it's like super quick before, I'm just like,
there's no kissing on the neck.
I'm like, hey man, I don't even know your favorite color or like what gets you hard or
right. Like, how do you expect me to come in and talk to you?
Yeah,
It seems like you're pretty gracious though, and maybe that's just your attitude as far as. Putting yourself out there, being a part of things.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Though, right.
Yeah. Well, how do you book this one? You just kind of.
I have too many damn things going on. I will book it. We have a producer. We do a 3-hour morning radio show every day too. So it's one of those things where I catch myself doing way too much all the time. We have a company, we have employees, all this other stuff. But if it's like I deal directly with Helium's PR person,
cool.
I can't let go of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will. I'll book it. I'll book stuff for a radio show that our producer doesn't have time to do or whatever. But yeah, for this, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if we're gonna have a good conversation. I gotta know something about the person.
Right.
It's one of those things where you don't want to get stuck with somebody in a longer form conversation that you're just not that into.
Yeah.
I guess you could say. Do you guys handle that at all? I mean, as far as that thing, like you guys have such a pick. Has you just going after bigger people changed? I've noticed there's just been an uptick. You're killing it with the guests, man.
Oh, cool.
Big, huge names. Is that literally you just saying, I'm going to go get this person?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even with Tiffany Amber Thiessen, it was like, I just wanted to have her on. And I was like, I think I saw
not? Yeah.
So I got her publicist email. And then actually a guy who's also in the movie, it's called The Bellman. It'll be out on Netflix in the spring. And this guy's name's Willie Garson. He was on White Collar with her. He was in Sex and the City for that whole time. He's just like a character actor that everybody would recognize.
Right.
So getting to be friendly with him, and once I booked him to be on the pod, and I was like, hey, actually, I'm reaching out to Tiffany Thiessen, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll tell her to do it, and that helped a lot because they are very close, and so the publicist is going to present it. There's a lot of people I've thrown Hail Marys to that the publicist gets right back and goes, not going to happen. Like, Kristen Bell or Amy Poehler or Paul Rudd. And
Bell did Marin. Was it Marin?
Uh-huh.
And she talks a mile a minute. She would be great with you guys. Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to do is
Siegel name.
and we're trying to get Conan, my friend from college, is Conan's assistant, has been for like forever. Has been on all these remote pieces with him, and so she's trying to help facilitate that. And now he has his own podcast, so there's extra reason to have him on.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm going to do is try to go through, because I know Dak Shepard's assistant a little bit, so I'm going to try to get him on.
I'm
going to try to get him on, and then after that, then try to see if she could finagle. That's the plan anyway.
And I'm telling you, like, people that listen to this that start their own stuff, I can't tell you how many people are like, we should get coffee. And I'm like, before we go get coffee, what are you trying to achieve? You're trying to start a podcast. I'm guessing you're going to sit there and talk about how sexy it is that you want to start a podcast for an hour. Here's what you do. You start recording it, and then you start sending emails. That's how you do a podcast.
Yeah.
Start sending emails to people to book it. We started the radio show like 3 years ago. Zero experience, whatever. Our first guests were Andrew WK, if you know who that is. From that Party Hard song. It was on Madden. You would know. He had in the album covers, like his nose is like smashed, bloody. You'd know him if you saw him.
Okay.
He was a big deal or whatever.
I'm a strictly Rebecca Black Friday guy, so any other song that...
I apologize because I knew that about you.
That's okay.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
I think I got a hold of Ian Edwards.
Oh, nice.
To be one of our first guests and all these things. It's just funny to... It's funny to see what you can do if you're genuine and you're providing somebody with decent information. So, what are you going to do?
And, I include headshots from Brad from the 90s, and then shots of my calves.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a little revealing, but tasteful.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to show people that, like, you're not just a set of pipes. That you're a piece of meat looking to be objectified.
When was the first time you dunked a basketball?
Probably on a trampoline in the 6th grade. Yeah, we used to put a trampoline on my buddy's hoop. Lived across the street, and we played tramp basketball, and it was the best because we would, it still was actually pretty tall. You still had to get some good hops from jumping, and it was like tough because you're trying to, like, especially one-on-one, you're actually trying to do somebody up, and there'd be times too where my buddy was really good at creating his own bounce to get like a little bit of leverage, and would sometimes just literally bounce and fly right over me, just nuts, grazing the forehead, and then you'd shoot and stuff too, but it was awesome. We would play for fucking hours, dude. After school was just the greatest, and to be able to dunk was so, especially to dunk from a hop on a trampoline, like on the corner, like if you got. And if we were playing twos, or sometimes we would play one-on-one with like a permanent offense,
Of course.
And like to do an alley-oop like that on a fucking trampoline when you're just like flying, like, dude, there was nothing better.
I think I should get some kind of...
Well, Tiffany Thiessen Instagram comment is better, but it is, other than tramp ball.
If I could try and go up against that, are you familiar with Tyler Hansborough?
Oh, yeah.
Are you familiar with David Lee?
Yeah.
So I was in between their ages. I played against both of them.
Whoa.
Both of their nuts grazed my forehead on an actual court.
Wow. You should make a poster with like both of their nuts. Just
me, like,
that's great. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. See if they could sign
Tuck
it.
that one in your back pocket, huh?
Wow, that's awesome.
I bet you don't walk into the next interview so cocky, huh?
I wish, dude. I wish I played against some fucking NBA stars. Rick Glassman played against LeBron.
What's that?
Rick Glassman, you know who that is?
I don't.
He's a comedian. He was on Undateable with Chris and Brent and Ron Funches.
Oh, okay. So I would recognize
him.
Yeah,
but he played basketball high school against LeBron, and he posts pictures every couple months. And he posted one recently where LeBron's at the free throw line and Rick's on the thing in like this packed high school gym, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's insane, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think others that I don't think like I was at AAU tournaments where Darius Miles was.
That's dope.
Insane.
Isn't David Lee married to somebody super hot and famous?
Some kind of an athlete, tennis or golf or something, maybe, or Olympics.
We looked that up, right? David Lee,
producer for the day, Ryan. Yeah.
Google David Lee hot wife.
Yeah, and they're like super happy, right?
It's somebody that I remember being like jealous of.
Yeah, for sure. That guy doesn't drink either, by the way. Does that bother you? Do you drink?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh, good for you when you're sober. I'm like, but
No
you're
way,
you
man.
have fun.
I mean, look, yeah, there'll be a point when I'll shut it down, I guess, because you have to. But
Right.
I also don't have a problem. So, like,
That's good.
which, by the way, is what everyone says who has a problem. But
you guys can't see, but he's
yeah,
3 drinks of scotch.
all right. Well,
Yeah.
you said it was a judgment-free podcast.
Yeah. Well, we gotta kind of help. You
Yeah.
where we can. Dude. Okay, so Phoenix, we were down there. We're talking.
Caroline Wozniacki.
Yes, I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
She's
dude.
Quite famous.
She's a tennis champ. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about her that's like, I don't know. I mean, the German part, I think she's German, right? Wozniacki, I think, is German. So that might come up.
It was an arranged marriage.
The whole German Jew thing might come up at one Thanksgiving, where like all of a sudden, like one family member gets a little too sauced and is just like,
right.
fucking.
And they're like, we started the Lee
How do you-
Jeans company.
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you think
Yeah.
you are? Right? Like, don't you think that has to happen at some
For
point?
sure.
Yeah.
Or some drunk uncle that's like, how can you fuck that Jewish cock if your ancestors fucking are the ones that fucking burned it off? And you're like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what?
We can edit that out.
Even more fucked up if that argument goes
Right.
down.
Yeah, that would be really strange.
Yeah.
Dude,
Danish, that's so, yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know anything about the Danish culture or the women, but that's sexy.
Yeah. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think the most famous Danish people we can think of. There's something with Dane. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
She might be the
we'll come back
cream
to
of the
that.
crop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a
I
pin
think
in that.
so. Right. We'll come back to it. Give me the scoops on the new live show with Corolla. So you did. I
don't know.
Phoenix, saw you guys after the basic cable commentary.
Yeah.
Looked like that was a blast.
Yeah, it
whole
was
thing
cool.
was just so fun. Other than Ari and Sam sticking hot dogs up each other's asses right before
Yeah,
we
what was
did.
that about?
Well, we did a podcast right after them in the same studio, and I'd like to talk to them about the smell. Steve Renazizi apologized. I'll give him that because he vomited in the studio. We were like,
God.
it smells like a morgue in here.
I don't get that type of stuff. Look, I love filth humor, but like, see, I was never even the type of guy. Like, there's a kid in my college, and even in high
Where did you go
school,
to college? Sorry.
USC.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are guys that like still thought it was funny to like walk around with their pants down and just like flop their dick around, and you're just like in the hallways of the dorms or whatever. And again, I got plenty of dick jokes in my act, but like that to me is different than just thinking it's funny just to expose a penis. I was never, or like
You
I
do the
remember
old
kids in high
chewed up
school.
gum trick with the sack or anything like that.
Well, actually, one of my first bits was the finger dick trick. You know, where you pull your zipper down, you put your index finger through your pants.
Nice.
You pretend it's a penis.
Right.
Yeah, that's a classic.
It is.
Yeah,
Would you do it for the podcast? We'll do like a video thing.
yeah, the finger dick trick.
Yeah.
It's been years, man, but I'll brush it off.
Okay.
Used to be a go-to. It was
literally.
Wumpy cushion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to get in trouble all the time though for like prank calling and then just fucking with teachers with like, man, I got sent out in the hall for like 2 days, it seemed like, for putting one of those fake ice cubes with like the flies in it in my teacher's coffee and a whoopee cushion on his seat. His name is Mr. Berger, rest in peace. He was 6'4", like 260, and just a fucking dominating presence. And
He choked to death. That's why it's rest in peace.
hilarious. Yeah, he
Oh,
died on the whoopee
plastic
cushion.
ice
Yeah,
cube,
he was allergic to fucking funny farts,
He died of poison from something that leaked out of the
out of the
Chinese-made
fake ice
plastic
cube. Yeah.
Exactly.
What if he did? That's so fucked. God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he would get so pissed though, and he always knew it was me. I got in trouble once for I was just
Well,
always
of course he knew it was you because you're sitting like 2 rows in the back going like.
no. Just I'm the only kid turned around during the silent reading, like watching his every reaction. Like,
How's that taste?
yeah. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. Did you sit on the cushion I put on your chair? I mean, what? Yeah. Yeah. But he just was so he would just fucking you just get so angry. In 8th grade, I got thrown in the hall for we had this science teacher named Miss Bryan. And she talked like this, and she looked like at any moment things were just her whole body was just going to shut down, and I saw her smile once, and I'll never forget it. I tried to hold on. It was like when you saw it was like if the Grinch, like if somebody,
Got it.
yeah, she just like had a lot of negativity, I think, just constantly in her life, but she she's always just everything was just get through the day and just fucking this and just very just abrupt teaching style, very direct, like this and this. And if he has a question, it was like fucking, her subtext was always like, how do you not fucking know that? But like, all right, here's what it is.
Right,
and I remember she's like, all right, we're gonna talk about fun guys today. We're gonna talk about fun guys, and does anybody know any types of fun guys? And I raise my hand. I go, I'm a pretty fun guy, Ms. Bryan. Nice. She goes, Ray out in the hall, and I go, God damn it. So I'm out there. She's like, you can't keep disrupting. I know what you're doing, and you're obviously trying to make people laugh, and there's a time and a place. I was like, that was pretty funny though, right? And she was like, I'm not gonna answer that. And I was like, I'll take it.
I say yes, yeah. I think you need to develop her in a Nutty Professor style film. I think you can play.
I have to play all my teachers.
Yes.
We had a teacher named Mr. Pappas. We would call him Pap that ass, and you always talk like this. And he was like, he was one of the first teachers I would impersonate, Mr. Pappas, and like under my breath, I would just like repeat what he would say sometimes, or lip sync to what he was talking about, or call the office as him, and ask for them to bring like weird things. Did that in 7th grade too. We had a cartooning teacher named Mr. Schultz, also rest in peace. And
see, this is nice because you grew up in Seattle. Like all I had to do was just like throw like half a Southern accent on any teacher I've ever had growing up in like rural Missouri.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See,
so there's no real separation between the accents and the dialect.
Ms. Smith or
hilarious.
Mr. Stevens?
No, we had a bunch of characters. Mr. Schultz, and so I'd call. He would leave the room on lunch, and I'd go, "This is Mr. Schultz calling from Portable B4. I need 6,000 pieces of purple construction paper ASAP." And there's like, "Okay, what for? Don't I just need it for class?" And then fucking some kid would walk in. With a shit ton of construction paper, and he'd just be like, "What is this?" And they're like, "You fucking asked for it, man."
Get out of here, you fucking weirdo.
We had a teacher named Mr. Clayton who was like 6'6", 240. Again, just a big ass dude, Mr. Burger Light, and he had a giant beard. Would always wear these tight ass polos with his white chest hair just fucking popping out. And he played basketball at University of Washington, but then became this like, entrepreneur of traveling and just a journeyman where he had just accumulated all these insane experiences and outer body experiences.
Did you realize he was a cool guy back then?
Oh, yeah. He was fucking dope. But he also loved to talk about his travels and his journeys, so much so that you could get him off course.
You throw a lob.
And guess what, dude? We avoided so many tests because he would go on these hour tangents to where he'd look down and he'd go, God, well, I guess we'll take the test on Monday. And at one point, I came in and not ready for a test, and then I start kind of. He goes out of the room. He puts on. He goes, "We're gonna watch a video for the first 45 minutes, and then we're gonna take the test the other 45." And I'm fucking panicking. I'm just like, I was pretty like active with like plays and sports in high school, and then also like there's just the workload was fucking sometimes could mount up like it does. Like
it's actually weird when you think about it.
Yeah, you're like there was actually a lot of shit to do. Look, if you just buckled down and only did schoolwork, you probably could get through it all in a timely manner. But nobody ever wants to just fucking go home and knock out all the shit. Procrastinating is a part of life.
Asian? No.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
you. You have to learn how to procrastinate properly, I feel like. Right. And everyone does it, I feel like. And you should. Like, that's a skill set, too, is to be, like, knowing what I can put off. And when I leave that to the last minute, and I'll have this amount of energy, and if I give myself 4 hours before I go to bed, I can probably, like, cram for that one and then do that paper right before, whatever it was. So he goes, let's watch the video for 45 minutes. He leaves the room. I start feeling it out. I go, all right, guys. I go, who's fucking ready for this? And everyone looks around. And I'm ready. And then a couple of the really smart kids was like, raise their hand. I was like, fucking, fuck you, Win and Rocky. You guys are fucking always ready. You're not gonna fuck this up. So I go up to the thing and I hit rewind on the tape and put it all the way to the back. And he comes in and we sit down. And I was like, come on, you guys. And I remember I convinced one of the star kids who was just like such a stick in the mud. And I was like, dude, just fucking take one for the team, man. This will be huge. We'll take the test Monday. He'll never know. He's like, that's so fucked up. I was like, I know, but like, come on, man. Like, look, it's just a test. Like, you're ready. You're gonna remember this shit on Monday. And he was like, all right. He's like, and then remember did it. And then Mr. Clayton comes in. The video goes on. He looked down at his watch. All of a sudden, fucking 10 minutes till class is over, and he just comes up and video still going. And then the fucking bell rings. He goes, all right, shit, I guess we'll take the test on Monday. And I remember I looked over at Win, and he just kind of looked at me and kind of smiled like, that shit fucking worked. That was pretty cool, And I was like, yeah, come to the dark side, baby.
That's perfect, man. Yeah, I think we would have gotten along in high school. I would have been on board with that.
Fuck completely. Yeah. And look, it's not like I did that all the time. It wasn't some like,
no, I was.
Not like I was cheating the system. It was just like this one time. It was like, I mean, look, it did definitely give me the confidence to be like, man, I wonder if we could pull this off every other week. Right. But like, it was just that one day that was fight or flight. Jurassic times call for Jurassic measures. I definitely was like, I'm not ready for this test, and it was a big test. Mr. Clayton, God bless him, was so trusting and just like, I thought this was a 45-minute video. Like, I'm pretty sure but again, from a guy who did peyote with fucking, cats in Zimbabwe, he also is like, all right, maybe I am a little fucked up still from
he was
when
like,
I did,
these kids,
ayahuasca in a fucking Denny's. Yeah.
You done that? You done ayahuasca?
No, I will not do it
Yeah.
because we had a kid on our podcast that I met in a coffee bean. He has this weed company. It is a fascinating episode. I don't remember.
What's his name?
Oh, boy.
Well, I'll check it out.
It is unbelievable. It's literally met him in this coffee bean. He's this weed pen company, and he seen me at the Comedy Store a few nights before, so he came up to me and we were just kind of shooting the shit. He started asking me.
He's been trailing you since he saw you.
Yeah,
at the
for
Comedy
sure.
Store.
He actually saw me on an ayahuasca trip before he'd met me,
Right.
and then he
knew the code to get into your house.
yeah.
And everything. Yeah.
So he goes. Starts telling me about his weed pen company, and I was like, oh shit, so we plugged it on the podcast once. So I was like, oh come on, and then he's like, I actually do have some crazy stories because like, oh, aside from the weed and ayahuasca, and he goes, yeah, ayahuasca trip stories were crazy enough. Like
Right.
He went into great detail, and
Like they think they're entering a different world.
oh, he
They're, like,
saw
talking to
himself.
God.
It's fucking bonkers what
Right.
he described. And Brad and I are trying to play devil's advocate because he really was preaching like we got to do it, and we were just like, this sounds like a horrific thing that happened. And he was like, so then he had and his dad I think started Ticketmaster. He had a brain tumor at one point that he was given like a 0.00 chance to survive, right? If he got this surgery because it was slipping down into his spine, and so he goes, I'm going to not get the surgery and
DIY photography.
I love it.
Right
He
now.
goes, I'm going to avoid the surgery because the chances of me not making it are very high.
If they nick your
oh
brain
man,
cell,
but also like living with, he's like, I'm going to try the natural holistic route. And so he does that, and like, man, he started to get better, and then this thing started shrinking, and then he was in the shower one night and fucking popped the tumor.
Shut up.
Yeah, dude.
Seriously.
Yeah. You should listen to the episode. It's crazy.
And you believe him?
Fuck yeah. Guy's crazy,
I had
man.
this really big pimple one time when I was 16. I don't think it was a tumor though. It was literally the tumor.
Yeah.
Exploded.
Yeah. Well, it got smaller and smaller, and even these women that he was doing this medicine with, they were like, and all his pus came out in the shower and all his blood, and
Oh my god.
yeah, isn't that crazy?
I'll listen. Yeah,
By the way,
that's
can you handle those videos? Like when you see them in a
I'm
Facebook
not a
news
fan.
feed of like
I don't do it.
giant, biggest pimple ever
Yeah,
pops.
don't do
It
it.
makes me sick just thinking about it, but
Yeah.
I will watch
I've
every.
seen them. Yeah.
I also
What
feel
about
like-
injury videos?
No, once I saw Two Girls One Cup, my threshold for really nasty shit.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh dang! That was one of the first videos of mine that went viral.
It is.
Not that, my reaction video to it. I did a Kermit the Frog reacts to Two Girls One Cup, and it fucking got featured on Perez Hilton and went from literally like 20,000 to 6 million over like 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I did a follow-up. I had this Kermit the Frog puppet, and because I started seeing all these reaction videos, and I was like, oh, I got to hop on this bandwagon. I think like, but it was all like grandmas or kids. I was like, what could I do that's like a different, like a character? I was like, but not me as an impression. Like a puppet would be funny. I had this Kermit puppet because I wanted to be a Muppeteer for the longest time. And so, and I was.
Another hour? I'm going to need to talk to you about that.
Yeah, for sure. And so I started doing it, and I had my roommate. I go, hey, will you just come in and say, hey, have you seen this video? And then click and then walk away. And my buddy too, the video got so famous. He worked at this restaurant, and he like, you see his face for a second, and then you see him stand in the doorway. He didn't really know what to do, and he just stood in the doorway and then kind of like walked away. But like all his friends were hitting him up like all over fucking from high school, being like, dude, you're in that fucking video. He's like, that's my
is
roommate. He
so
basically
wild.
he had no idea. He just comes in and he goes, I go, hey, just come in and press this thing and say, you want to see this video? And so then Kermit watches it, and then the whole thing is Kermit watches it, gets disgusted, and then turns around and like starts doing this and looks around and then slides in a bottle of Lubriderm and then starts fucking jerking off to it. And then I did a reaction. I had this Rolf the dog puppet that I ordered and had Kermit show the video to Rolf because that was like what people were doing. It was like somebody showing it to him. So then I was like, oh, I got to do a follow-up. And then that one got millions, and it was Rolf showing them, and Rolf's just sitting there just like stoic, and Kermit would be like, oh, it's so fucking gross, right? Like, look at that, how gross. And Rolf would be like, shh, hey, you should go. And just be watching, right? And then all of a sudden, it would just, and he's like, oh, man, shh, hey, shut up. And then all of a sudden it just gets, quiet, and then it would just end, and then Kermit goes, that's fucking disgusting, right? And I had Rolf just go, I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. I'm a dog. I eat my own shit all the time, And so then that one got a bunch, and then I did one more that was like, I think Kermit reacting to the reaction videos, because then the people started doing those.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, it was when Perez Hilton was a fucking. And I remember I didn't even see it on there, but I saw it. You know, checking, because once it got up to like 20,000, I was like, holy shit! And this is YouTube. I mean, maybe a couple years in.
Was it YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, was it what was Break.com?
Break was something, yeah.
Was it Break and then it changed?
Break wasn't
changed to Break.
No, Break was what.
E-Bombs World. Was it E-Bombs?
Those were
World
separate.
first?
E-Bombs was around, I think, even pre-YouTube.
Right.
E-Bombs World was where there was so much great shit on E-Bombs World.
The Numa guy, was that?
Yeah,
E-Bombs?
yeah.
Man, the golden years.
The golden years, man.
So first couple of years on YouTube, and you were like on it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, I gotta start putting out more videos to try to like
Around
ride this 2 Girls 1 Cup fame.
You
Which, by the way,
be like, yeah.
I used to joke. I was like, if nothing else in my career ever happens after this, like, and I do somehow get on like the Tonight Show, and Jay Leno's gonna be like, so 2 Girls 1 Cup. So this was the start of it, huh? So basically, now were you the guy directing the girls eating the shit, or were you one of the girls just dressed up? Did you puke? How much of the shit did they actually? Well, actually, I just made that video to it. Oh, okay, all right. The Google Dolls are here, you know.
And the thing would be, you'd have to set a cup down. I brought you something, Jay.
Oh, my God.
The calling card. Yeah.
People always, would go back and forth whether they thought it was real poop or not. You know, there's like a big thing online. I don't know if you guys read the message boards for 2 Girls 1 Cup.
I was
but
busy
people.
hanging. What was the one? Goatsy? Did you guys know what Goatsy was?
No.
Oh, it was bad. It was real bad. As far as I go, what was I gonna freaking say? I was actually curious about something too. It doesn't matter. 2 Girls 1 Cup got me rocking. Dude, you are popular. I feel like I'm.
Oh no! There are texts from numbers I don't recognize. Also, one of my buddies.
People here.
What would you do? I was just telling Rye about like one of my pet peeves is, and I only got a few, but like opening the door for somebody and they don't say thanks. Big one. And I go, that's a very clear and simplistic way of viewing the world of how it's split into 2 people. Correct. Those that thank a stranger for holding the door, and those who don't.
Correct.
Because here's what is required of you: a thanks. Again, it's not such a grandiose gesture that a big stop like, you fucking goddamn Samaritan, you're an American hero.
Just got the door for you. Adam Ray's walking in. Adam Ray, go.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man.
Boom. There you go, people. That's all.
That's it. I go, you don't even have to look them in the eyes, because there's going to be a handful of fellas out there that are still think there might be some homoerotic connotations suggested. So where they're like, polite. God, that guy looked me in the eyes and held the door. I got to butt fuck him now. Like, it's like, no, dude, you created that own homophobic rule in your head.
Right.
So it's like, but I did this recently, and the guy just walked right in, and I have no problem doing this, by the way. You're welcome. I'm that guy, too.
You got that nice commanding voice with it.
I appreciate that. But also, it's fuck you, man.
Right.
Yeah, I know you saw me do it because I stutter stepped, and then instead of me going in, I even stutter stepped and then backed up and then held it. Anyway.
You get more angry at the dude or the attractive lady that doesn't say thanks in that situation?
She can do what she wants.
That's true. She's been treated like that since she was like 3 months old.
Although... I don't know. I'm probably angry at both, if that's the real answer. But so so just to piggyback on a pet peeve. So let me give a little context to this. So I used to have these gay neighbors, Jim and Ray, which one of the first jokes I wrote in LA was about my gay neighbors, and I used to smoke pot with them all the time. But I go, they're the sweetest gay guys I've ever met. Both Jim and Ray in their 60s. They actually both clean carpets for a living, which is ironic. Which, by the way, is true. They have a carpet cleaning business. They're Jim and Ray, gay carpet cleaners, right? And I used to like make up all these dumb jokes about like their slogans were like, "We'll just come over and suck it all up," or like, we'll come so quick, we'll just, all these things. You guys don't have to put that in your business model. It's actually making it worse. And they used to give me like, they weren't like stereotypically gay, like no real effeminate voice or like behavioral moves, to just like attractive dudes, and they even looked, one of them was in the Animal House, actually.
Is that
had
right?
a big part. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And I remember him kept telling me that, because I was like just getting going in acting.
Was he kind of telling you like you want to get into business?
Hilarious. Yeah, but no, he was like, I think just to give me some like, hey, I would fucking do it. So he was like, oh, it's cool you're starting out into acting, whatever. And He actually, I think, I was still living there when I got the heat, and he was like, almost fucking cried. And he was super baked, though, because he would sit on his patio, and they had bought all these like shrubs, and I'd called their patio Fern Gully because it just looked like a fucking jungle. Yes. And when you smoke pot in it, you definitely felt like you were going to get eaten by a lion or something. And because their weed was also really good, but they would give me these compliments sometimes. This is before I told.
Days.
Yes, yeah. I told them once I go, I didn't know you guys were gay until I was. They were leaving, and one of them had complimented my haircut, and I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." And then that was why. And then no, but he was jerking off while he said it. No, and he goes, well, we're off to the doctor. I go, "Oh, cool." And he goes, "Yeah, I got to get a colonoscopy." And I go, "Oh, fuck, gotta stay healthy." And he goes, "Who says it's for health reasons?"
Oh, wow.
And I just kind of pause, and I go, "Ha ha, wait, what?" And then you're gay, But they're so dope. And anyway, so they came down one day. My car had gotten broken into our little parking structure. All the windows were smashed, and the glass was everywhere. And this is on my way to go fucking strap on the claws and play Wolverine at Universal Studios at fucking 9 a.m. So I'm already just like, I do shows or videos late or hang late at an open mic and try to get to know comics. Now I'm getting up early and probably a little hungover, and I go out and all the windows are busted. I'm like, God fucking damn it. No Uber yet, so I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, borrow a car, get whatever. So I go out, and they're sitting on the patio, or Jim is smoking a joint, fucking 9 a.m. And he just goes, "Adam, did your car get broken into?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Fucking sucks, man." I go, "No, it's really great, actually. I hated those windows."
Yeah.
I go, "Of course it sucks, Jim. Fucking don't need you to confirm that." So that became like a pet peeve of mine of people, and there's a lot of people that do that. That the whole where you give them, they don't know how to comfort or console, so they just confirm what you already know. Where they just go, "Oh, that sucks."
She cheated on you, didn't she?
"Oh, that sucks, man." Yeah, I know it sucks.
That was bad.
So anyway, all of that to set up. Going to the Seahawks game on Sunday, right? My mom got me some tickets for my birthday, taking a couple of buddies from high school. One of them's flying in because his girl is a flight attendant. Haven't seen him in a long time. Him and my two other buddies, we used to go to Mariner games all the time, right? Like in 8th grade, we would take the bus
Love
from.
That setup. I've only been to Seattle once.
Yeah, it's great. But this was the Kingdom, by the way. Yeah, and we would just take the bus down from the grocery store that was in our little town, and you could take it all the way downtown, straight shot, right? And we'd do that after like 5, go to the game, come back at 11. Somebody's parents would pick us up.
Because it was Seattle too.
It's the best.
It's amazing.
One of my buddies had this like lucky.
Get hit with a brick on the way there.
Yeah.
No, will happen here.
Will it really?
Yes. Depends on where you're at.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I mean, Seattle Seahawks fans can get pretty gnarly.
Oh,
but
look out. Yeah.
What is this, fucking Ellen? By the way, drink 4 if you're playing the Ellen spook drinking game.
Yes, exactly.
That is so fucked up that she does that.
So you're going Sunday.
So going Sunday, and
what time's the game?
Well, here's the thing. It was supposed to be a 5:20 game, right? Sunday Night Football, and I was like so pumped because of Niners Seahawks. Richard Sherman's coming back. It's a big deal. Yeah. To Seattle fans, not to the rest of the league, because they moved the game up to 1:20. There's no direct flight from St. Louis to Seattle, which is a big bummer. So if we could cancel both shows on Saturday, so I could just go on Saturday. No, so
cut out half his money.
So my flight was supposed to be 10:30 in the morning. I was gonna land at I think 2. I had to stop in Chicago, and I was like, fucking, I hate stopping. Like, it did so much for a while. It's just like, it's a bummer, and it's just a long day. And I'm like, well, I'll get in at 2. I'm just gonna get a hotel downtown because I have to leave the next day to go back to LA for a few days. And I was like, I'll go. I'll get there a little early. They'll meet me at the hotel. We'll take our time, get some drinks, walk over to the state. It's walking distance. Now they move the game up to 1:20. Earliest flight is at 6:30. Gets me in at 12:20, which is still like, look, I'll get my shit. I'll go right to the hotel. 30 minutes, maybe, maybe. So get there by 1, I think. Game's at 1:25. Walking distance. Fucking pound a shot. Walk over. Be there for the start of the game. Yeah. By the way, bringing 3 of my buddies, like dope seats, like bringing them, right? One of them goes, and I just texted them all to be like, hey, I land at 12:30, and I'm staying at this hotel downtown. Meet me there at 12:30. I'll be there at 1. Drink at the bar. Wait for me. Go there early if you want. Drink. It's a dope hotel. Go hang, just if you want, and then be there.
Here's the way one guy has to go.
Yeah. One of them just goes, and this is my friend who is like cynical, but humorously sarcastic. Like, we bust his balls for it. He's always a little negative, getting a little more positive in his old age, but still just whatever. After all that, and again, free tickets, all this shit, just puts, damn bro, cutting it close. Yeah, I know.
I'd like to back in.
But we're going. Also, what? again, like that is in line with the whole that sucks your car got. I'm just like,
Yes.
what does that text do? Like, what am I supposed to say to that? Because now it's like there's no.
Just reply, yeah.
Also,
bro,
put
back.
cutting
What
it
do you-
close and then put like ... But man, but fuck yeah, dude. That's how
Still
gangster you are. Like you're coming in. Anyway,
really tired,
you're
and we're
going
not
out of your
gonna
way
play
to
anymore.
take us to this game. You clearly should not get on a 6:30 flight. You're barely going to sleep. You should just go back to LA
Right.
and sell these tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, or just put fuck yeah. Damn, bro, cutting it like. Do you know what I'm saying? Am I
Yeah.
like?
No. I'm there with you.
Is this just me being like a comic to like look
No.
at this and see like that there's something weird about that text?
No, it's loaded.
It's the why. It's the why would you text that?
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things. Again, maybe kiss your ass a little. Maybe like, can I pick you up to make it quicker?
Wow, what a fucking novel idea.
You bought the tickets. Like what,
Dude?
Like, yeah,
It's
this is. Hey, cool. I'll be there. You want a 40 for the drive from?
yeah,
the airport
dude.
to
I'll have shots ready.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be the
we
response.
haven't drank and drove together in forever. Let's do it.
Great. Yeah, I would love. Yeah,
Let's do it.
dude. I
You
just
wanna do it now?
I don't know what to respond to this with.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe just you're out. I'm bringing your sister. By the way, your sister who used to eat chapstick when we would go to your house and try to offer up gerbils to get me to recite lines from the high school play. Because she was like I think she was in elementary school, and so they would always go to the high school plays, and I, always had good parts in them, and so she would go over to my buddy's place, and then
Did
she,
you just brag about your high school play parts?
yeah. Well, there's context to it.
Thank you.
This is why, because I had a lot of lines, and so she would go. Look, our theater school was a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So when we would take field trips in elementary school, you go, you put these kids up on these pedestals because the productions were amazing. You know what I'm saying? So then we get there in high
varsity
school.
basketball players. When I was in 5th grade, I got varsity basketball players' autographs. I know exactly what
Yes.
you're talking about.
Yes.
They were 17-year-olds.
Yes.
Yes.
If you are
Whatever you're
thinking about
into.
the arts, you're looking at it, you're like, fuck. And not all the kids were dope, but there were like every year a couple kids that you're like, that kid could be the fucking next Denzel or Gabrielle Sidibe, you know?
Right.
And drink 4 if you're playing the precious drinking game at home. And so point being, because I had big parts, she would that's cooler than being an ensemble. If your brother is best friends with a guy who's the lead in the show and now he's at your house, you can't put that together as a fucking 4th grader. So you're like,
and
what?
You're gonna go see people cheer for you at that thing.
Right.
It is a big deal.
Yes. So that's the context I'm trying to give you, is that like this is why she then would. Now she's starstruck in her own house, being like, her and her friends would come up. They'd just seen the play too, right? And then they're like, want me to say lines from the play. And then I'm like, nah, let me live a normal life, bitch, and go eat some chapstick, you fucking weirdo,
Yeah.
But that was an edited line from the play. Go eat that chapstick, you fucking weirdo.
I love that line. You were so good.
Yeah.
With it, though. Yeah.
But so then they came back and they offered me her gerbil. I'll never forget. She's like, will you take my gerbil? Like, and just do some lines. And I was like,
wow.
I mean, even if I love gerbils,
Sure.
I was like, I'll put it in my ass. Like, I'll do that, but I'm not going to
That's the
hold it,
thing.
Yeah.
I'm an actor, for God's
Yeah.
sake. Of course
I'm very
that-
method, yeah.
Yeah. That too, because she's no longer an elementary school girl.
No.
You can now use sex with the sister as like an insult to him. Correct?
Say that
Right?
again?
You can
So-
you can mess with him
Yeah.
by threatening sex with his sister.
Oh,
Or something
yeah,
along those
but
lines.
yeah.
Take it down that. Okay.
I did actually. You know what's so funny? I did.
Glad that opened something.
It did. I did bang a buddy's sister from high school, but he was like not a great buddy.
Right. Chummy, high school friend.
Yeah, we were in Cub Scouts, and then kind of went our separate ways.
Right.
We were on the basketball team together. I'm probably giving out too much info.
Yeah. What was his number?
Hilarious. I can tell you her number.
Don't you say 30. Somebody's listening at home. Don't say 34.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No. Yeah. But that was fun. That's always cool though. Like when that does happen. Like I remember the amount of times when I started to like go back from and start to just like man, there's like girls that I even like had crushes on like in high school, and then like being at a party years later, like either in college or post like some holiday thing, and you're like, oh, now we're kind of on the same level, and like
Weird, isn't
not that. And look, and then sometimes there are opportunities where you're like, oh, we're out of the high school bullshit. Now we're in the real life of the real world of life,
know
and there's just
exactly what you're
more.
talking
There's
about.
like. It's that Ryan Reynolds fucking Just Friends type thing where you're just like, and whether you capitalize or not, like even just being in those moments is fucking pretty cool sometimes.
Isn't that crazy that 3 years of your life or 4 years or whatever can affect. Like if you ran into somebody who was cool now, and when you were in high school,
Oh, yeah.
you ran into them now, you'd be like, hey, you were that cool person in
Yeah.
high school. Like, that's so.
Oh yeah, there's a buddy of mine. I actually mentioned this on Corolla, and he got a bunch of like, again, forgetting the impact of Corolla, like, and he was getting all these messages and things of you were mentioned on Corolla. His name's Brandon Bergstrom, but people call him Bub, and fucking dope ass dude. Now lives in Arizona. Just had a kid and like crushing it in the medical world. But he was a 3-star athlete. He's maybe like what 5'7", 5'6", 3-star athlete. Just one of those little fucking Isaiah Thomas, athletes. It's just fucking dope. But went through these phases, and he was a really cool dude too. Everybody called him Bub, and fucking a little, But I remember he wore overalls one day as a senior, and you'd walk through the cool area where the seniors would hang, and he was sitting there wearing overalls with no shirt in the summer. And I remember even as a sophomore, and I started to kind of become somewhat friendly with some of these guys. I worked with some of them at Albertsons, some of these cool seniors, so that kind of got me in with them because it was just an outside of school setting to build some rapport. And the grocery store is such
back then, man.
Hilarious.
I love it.
No, but I mean, like, when you're bagging groceries along people, there's no fucking. I mean, there still is a hierarchy of like, I was a freshman, they were seniors,
You're both on the low on the
but you're
totem
both
pole,
fucking
but it's
putting,
hard grabbing time,
trying to not crush bagels with cases of Dr. Pepper, right?
You've been there, right, bro?
Yeah, that is you're both trying to get that done. So and then but so even at that stage, I remember being like, that is so fucking weird that you're wearing overalls with no shirt as a high schooler. Like I don't know what this is, but it's not normal. And I remember busting his balls then, and his buddies kind of like, think it was funny, but he was kind of whatever. And then I told him about it later. I was like, took such a firm Oshkosh Bagosh stance on that. And I like busted his balls because Carol and I were talking about guys in high school that not peaked, or some that did, but also some that just were and then backed it up and then still have gone on because, he still is now crushing in his field. Right. He's not obviously walking around with the same type of swagger they did in high school.
Right,
but
he's not on about
that's because he's a married dude. Yeah, for sure. He should be, though.
And
I'm better than him.
That's a good note to end on. Dude, I'm excited to see you. You're here all weekend. Helium. Everybody's going to get excited. Come out and see you. What do we need to look out for of the 50 million things you have going on?
Oh, man. Well,
I could sit here for another 2 hours.
I know, man. It's easy to chat. Because I was super not looking forward to this. What's that?
What was that?
No.
No, you know what? I got to ask, and I mean this because I don't do this. I sent you a message. How's your dad doing?
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
You literally caught me. I was like,
whoa, really? Yeah, that was from what, the picture or the post?
Yeah, you posted.
The picture was insane, right?
Yeah, and
yeah, man, that was bonkers.
My parents, my family, and stuff, and I don't know what it was, but I'm glad everything's going on.
Yeah, I've rarely like posted something stream of consciousness like that was so. But my dad just is going through a rough patch right now, and he's 74, and our relationship has been whatever over the years, but better in the last handful, and just gone through so much shit. And him and my mom split when I was 9, and they barely talk. They don't wish any poor things on each other at this point. They're both remarried, but my mom obviously went through she got a lot more shit during that time. I think once you get older and you talk to your folks about some of that stuff, but they never really talked. And I went up to Portland to see my dad for a couple of days just because he was in the hospital by himself. He was there for 2 weeks, and my stepmom is around, but no other kid was. My half brother had gone down for a little bit, but I was like, I just got to be up there. I know I'll be in the hospital, and I want to. I won't be able to sleep if I don't go up there, and also try to handle some shit. And so I was FaceTiming with my mom at one point, or my nieces, so my dad could see them. And then my mom got on, and then they talked, and they hadn't seen each other or talked in a while. And there was just this like very real moment of like my dad kind of getting choked up, and he started to kind of apologize to my mom, and then my mom kind of like got quiet, and then my mom is so, you could tell also, they both kind of will reminisce about good times a lot. And once you get older, you start to realize, at least for me as a comedian, like, I did get my sense of humor from both them. Like once you see your parents as people and not parents, you're like, you guys are fucking funny, and you're a little more dry, and you're a little more the bigger character. My mom but together you could see the good times that were there, and my mom even trying to make my dad laugh. She did a few times. I was like, that's why you're the shit, even in this moment. She was, and so then I just was on the plane, and it was just like, and I was so tired, and it was just like overwhelmed with emotion. And I remember I took that screenshot of when they were FaceTiming, and it was just like, just for me to have it. And then I just posted about it. And again, and it got, man, such a cool response from so many people that I know and don't know of just like commenting, and then also people like yourself reaching out and asking about them, which was really cool. Well, and I didn't, and I really, look, so much posting stuff is self-serving and give me the likes and give me.
And I get disgusted
because I had a moment where I almost didn't post it because I was like, oh, are people going to think I'm trying to tug at the heart, like get some emotional, because you do see a lot of people posting about their family and this and that on Facebook, and my dad's going through this, or like. If you see somebody post something about my parent passed away and they give a whole thing, that's always like, fuck yeah, that's where I never look at that as like, oh, you just want the fucking emotional,
but we know,
the cyber hugs, you fucking greedy, emotional bitch. It's never that. It's like,
but it's the same people who are posting
and you do
shit anyway, and then they just hijack the moment.
Yes.
So,
but you do. But you should want that because that's, dude, to grieving and to be consoled. Like people, there probably is a level, and there even, and I didn't again need all those comments, but I'm reading through them, and I was so taken aback by how many people were like, "Man, this is some real shit." Because again, I didn't really,
because you don't post bullshit.
Yeah,
that's why. Because you tap into it. I feel like I don't have a soul sometimes because I'm always just like, people.
Oh, me too, man.
Gonna happen.
Yeah, but yeah.
But then that caught me.
Oh man, thanks, dude.
All right.
Well, you were real sweet to reach out.
As far as.
Anyway, he passed away 2 days ago. But so he, but look, man, it's like, but these are the things, and he didn't like the picture either. But it's, it's like, fuck, I got you an account just for that.
He hates the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And now you're here.
yeah.
Well,
he's alive and kicking. He's doing well.
My mom, have you had this too? Your parents live in Washington still?
My dad lives in Salem, Oregon. My mom and stepdad live in Seattle. Yeah.
Seattle. Okay.
Yeah.
So they've probably been around something. My mom, I think, gets an award for most hugs to famous people introducing herself as Chris's mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think she gets that. So
that's awesome.
Mom do that as well?
I mean, look.
It's a Corolla, by the way. We just did the thing like in front of 2,000 people. We're freaking out. We're all having fun. Everything's.
Wait, where was that? Here?
It was at a theater here.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. And she.
Wait, you guys and Corolla?
Yeah, Mike. We had him on the radio show. I talk about it. I'll talk.
Yeah. Tell me.
Love this. We had him on the radio show, and him and Mike were driving somewhere. How they do, he'll call in to promote stuff. And I read out mine and Mike's email exchange, and just trashed on Mike for like 3 minutes. And he was
August.
Corolla's died.
Yeah,
Mike August. Sorry, Corolla's manager. If you guys don't know. And Corolla's like laughing quite a bit, and then we just went in on August for a while. Great interview, really fun. And the guy I do the show with, Travis, he's very funny and jumped in on too. And he's black, so that gives Corolla a lot of range. It's fun, the back and forth. Either way, we hang up the phone and oh wow, that was great. I got an email from August. He's like, hey, you guys should be the guests on our show in St. Louis. I was like, oh, I'd love to come. I'm a big fan. Thank you. And he's like, no, like you'll be on stage or whatever. And I was like, what? Excuse me? Like, so they had us as the guests.
Wow.
At the like live podcast. You've done those.
Yeah, those are the best.
And it was a blast.
That's cool.
Did
you pick up some followers from it?
Yeah, we did. Well, that was good, and we got a really good response because I've listened to him since I was like 12, and then because we knew how to play the game. Right?
Yeah.
And even Dawson, everybody's like, "You guys will get asked back. Good job." So
they
told
good.
us, like, "Hey, come out whenever you're in LA," and we did. That one got us a lot more.
Did you go on in LA then?
Yeah, we did.
Dope.
The one in the studio. Yeah, it was fun, man. We did Joe's podcast out there too. That was fun.
Joe Coy. Oh, cool.
Koi Pond.
Oh, very cool. That's dope, man.
It's funny though. Whenever you do that, it happened this weekend too. Mom's like, Chris's mom jumping in.
Oh yeah.
I like that part though.
That is cool. But you should never be bummed that's happening because all parents want to do is be proud of their kids and then also like. Come on, man! How dope is it? Like,
that's really cool
to get to do some cool shit. And like my mom at the Heat premiere, I brought her, my stepdad, and at the premiere party, like especially in some place like New York, they'll invite, just any select. Yeah, are you famous? You want to come hang at a cool party? Right. And so I introduced her like Melissa McCarthy and other people like that, and Burr and stuff, and then Ben Affleck was there, and I was in the movie, so I was like, fuck, I got a decent part, so like I'm gonna definitely go say what up because he just saw the movie. So and he's like, oh yeah, what's up, man? Good job, whatever. And I was like, thanks, man. I go, you mind if my mom gets a picture? He goes, yeah, obviously, man. He goes, I love moms. I go, hey, easy, man. I go, don't you fuck my mom, whatever. And
drunk out of his mind.
He was, by the way. I have a picture. Oh boy. All right, it's gonna take me a while to find it, but. There was a picture. So anyway, take a picture, and then the light sucked, and my mom like freaked out because she was just like, she was just on cloud nine, dude. She's like, I took her down the red carpet, introduced her to Sandra. Like, she's like with this picture of us on the car. You know, she was just like, this is just so crazy, you know. Yeah. And she's been like biggest supporter, and like, you know, used to work on when it was just me and her from 8th grade through high school. She used to work on all the plays, like the sets, and just be not stage mom, but just her and the director and the costume lady were real cool. So they all kind of bonded. So my mom would like, you know, go there, and it was also a way for her to like kill time and be involved. And it's just me and her. So she's like, what am I gonna sit home after work, or am I gonna be involved in my shit and be around me and all that? So this was just extra cool, and but she's just like, and she didn't have a drink because like, Mom, you seem fucked up, but she was like, I'm solely riding like adrenaline right now. So she goes to my stepdad, she goes, you fucked up the picture of me and Ben Affleck, and I go, Jesus Christ, and my just was like, oh God, fucking, and she's like, God damn it, she goes, well, you guys let me get another one. So I go, Ben, I go, do you mind if you do one more? My stepdad fucking can't take pictures, and he goes, I fucking hate stepdads, and I go, it's so funny, and then we took another one, and even that was okay. So then at the end of the night, I didn't leave the premiere party until it was closed. I was like, this could be the last thing I do. Yeah. This could be the only thing I ever do. I'm gonna soak up. Yeah, every day. My mom said that on the way out. She goes, "You'll never work again." You know, get me one more Affleck picture. You know, and I said the duck, not the actor. And so I'm staying there till the very end. And it's you know, the staff's there, and there's, you know, serve you till you leave, like these, you know, 4 a.m. New York hours, whatever. And it's Allison Jones, the casting director, who cast, you know, The Heat, fucking dude, Superbad, all Apatow shit, all Paul Feig, The Office, Curb, Veep. She's just, you know, a comedy god in the casting world. Her niece and nephew, my buddy from the 5th grade that I had, who lived in D.C., that I got a ticket, so he came up, and then Joey McIntyre was there, and that's how I met him and became buds with him, because we didn't have any scenes together. So, and I was doing shows in Seattle the following weekend, and they were playing Seattle, and my sister, you know, being a diehard fan, I was like, I went up to him, I was like, hey, I'm bringing my sister already and some friends to the show, but do you think maybe I could bring him back to fucking meet you? Like, and he's like, dude, he goes, buddy, don't even fucking get tickets, buddy. I fucking got you, dude. So
but if you do it right, that's not hard to do.
Right.
I do it for people on the tiny little scale that we have with events and shows and stuff like that. Hook somebody up if you know they're going to act right.
Yes,
I'll say that.
Totally. And he couldn't have been more generous with it. And so he was there, and then Ben Affleck was still there. And there were a couple young gals he was talking to with my mom, copping a feel. And so I look over one point, and Allison Jones goes, I want a picture with Ben Affleck. Is that weird? I go, no. She said it, or her niece said it. Somebody said it, and I go, fuck. I go, we're all still here. And we all came in, like, this is not weird that we're all here. And I go, and fuck, I've already talked to him with my mom. Like, he knows I was in the movie. Like, it's not totally weird for us to approach. I go, so come with. She goes, do you mind instigating? She goes, I don't know who he is. I've never met him. I go, yeah. And so we go up, and so we have this picture. They had a little Heat, like, you know, for photo op things at a party. So it was like a little Heat poster behind the camera and in front of it. And so it's me, Allison, her niece and nephew, my buddy, and Ben, just shit-faced, took this picture. And literally, I mean, he couldn't look more like a drunk dude in a picture that doesn't want to be there. And I don't know how I haven't blown it up and framed it. It's it's on my Instagram, though. You got to sift through, but
check it out.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's got to feel good, too. I saw it this last weekend. I keep bringing it up, but it was for this charity here in town. It was Project Wake Up. Sklars are from here.
Oh, yeah.
He's from here. Plus, we had some really great comics on board. Everything went super well. We hosted it. Got a bunch of laughs.
That's so cool, man.
1,000 people laughing for a good cause.
Fuck yeah,
awesome.
dude.
But we got back there, and I'm like Nikki's dad made a beeline for me in a really cool. He's like, hey, that was really funny.
Yeah.
I'm seeing all this. And the Sklars are like giggling, like poking me with my mom. Like, that was really sweet with you and your mom. Like, that kind of stuff makes me
extra
so
special.
happy, because you guys are all at a certain level and moving up that way. Like, that should be like what people strive to be. That And the negative side of that is dealing with an asshole here and there.
Right.
And that's how you know they're not really doing shit, because the people that are making it still maintain that really friendly, open mind.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Heartwarming conversation.
It was.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm gonna cry.
Get you out of here.
Can I promote 2 more things?
No, that's it.
Okay, great. Thanks for having me.
What you got, dude?
So I'm the voice of this talking horse called Swiftwind on She-Ra that's on Netflix right now. And then American Vandal still on season 2 on Netflix. This movie comes out. I guess I don't need to promote that. The podcast is about last night with Brad Williams. Subscribe to that. Tiffany Amber Thiessen's coming up. We've had Thomas Lennon, Bill Burr, Jim Jeffries, Dana Carvey, Bob Saget, Chris D'Elia, Neil Patrick Harris, Jason Derulo.
Who?
Jason Derulo.
Derulo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. If you say his name, I feel like you should have to say Jason.
You
Derulo.
should. Yeah. We almost got him to put Brad in a music video where he was riding around on a pit bull. eating something we came up with called Deroodles, which is like cup of noodles that Jason Derulo had his own line of. Because he said when he was in New York, I met him doing some promo thing for Mad TV that was on one season on the CW and got canceled. Thanks for bringing it up. So we were, and so I met him on this thing for Extra. It was me.
I was really excited for you when that came out.
So was I, dude.
Like, man,
Yeah, it should still be on, and we should still be. I should be selling out the fucking pageant. But
that's why he's a
actually, you know what? The Helium. I'll stay loyal.
Helium,
because I fucking love comedy clubs.
Sinbad rocks Helium when he comes.
I fucking love Sinbad.
You can deal with Helium.
I fucking love Sinbad.
I wish Sinbad was here today.
That's actually my dad's. My dad got me. Hilarious, dude. Also, too soon. My dad, who just died, is his favorite comic was Sinbad. That is not what he sounds like. But
Ghost now.
His favorite comic was Sinbad, and it was the first stand up he showed me. And so then when I got to Sinbad was coming to the Ontario Improv. My dad lived in Laughlin, Nevada, at one point, working And so I was like, Dad, drive over. I'll put you up. We'll stay, and I'm going to host this weekend. You can meet him and see Sinbad and me on the same show. And it was like such a weird thing for him to get like emotional about, but he was just like seeing like the guy that he showed me stand up, and now I'm on the same show.
Did he grasp it? Did he?
Yeah, he was just like, this is fucking cool. He's like, you and Sinbad. And again, people dog Sinbad. Dude, he murdered. He did almost 2 hours plus every show, and in his crowd work portions, which I enjoy doing crowd work in my show, and there's certain guys, him and Harlan Williams, that I'm like are just fucking the best. And Sinbad would do, at one point he was just taking questions from the audience, and he's got kids, so he's got that world like he's tapped into, being married, being divorced, then remarried, and different stages of life. And he was just like, I'm sure he does that at his shows where he was like taking questions and people about relationships and stuff. And he was so dialed in and so quick and so funny. And then like even times where it was like it would get real, the funny would come right in right after. And it was like, dude, anybody, you just immediately think of Sinbad, you think of the crazy outfits and whatever. It was like, do you know how fucking good of a movie House Guest is? Are you a person with a heart and a soul?
You're forgetting Necessary Roughness.
Oh my God, dude!
St. Louis want him. Scott Bakula was the quarterback.
Isn't he on a show?
To college.
Yeah, isn't he on a show now?
Scott Bakula, one of those.
Hilarious.
One of those.
Sinbad.
Sinbad. You know what? Is he?
Lil Rel show.
Lil Rel show.
Is that still on? Oh, great. Yeah, I want him to work forever. But
David Allen Greer feel the same way.
So funny, dude. God, what a beast.
You want to just name comics and say if we like?
Yeah.
Here's something you've never done.
Todd Glass. I love Todd Glass.
Funny. Yeah.
My favorite comics, I'll tell you real quick. Chappelle, David Cross, Patton Oswalt. I really like Gaffigan. Harlan Williams.
Harlan Williams.
It's just, yeah.
Which DVD cut of Sorority Boys do you have?
Hilarious. I think just the original.
I'm addicted to porn.
He is... not to pimp up my podcast again, but he's
because there's a negative connotation with that.
He's gotten to be a real good buddy of mine, and there's a bunch of.
I'm so jealous. That's so great.
Oh yeah,
so
like
fantastic.
he is one of
Ian fucking Bag. You get Harlan Williams.
Ian is also great, but Harlan is better. But no, Harlan is just like.
Do you watch fights with him and smoke wings?
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. We go see movies here. We play racquetball. He's the fucking best. He is, and he is so fucking funny, but also like, again, we got into a personal level to where we can talk about a lot of shit. But when he's on the pod now, he'll come on just me and him. It's obviously great when Brad's there too, but sometimes we got to put out eps, and Brad travel just doesn't work out, and
tendon bar at his place.
Yeah, or sometimes he just gets trapped in the garage, because he has the doggy door is like not. He's his wife's like, we should come through the big door. He's like, that's not my door, and this one was built for me, and why'd you put me in the fridge? And I thought you were prime rib. And so, but Harlan just by himself is so funny. And there's this last episode that Harlan and I did, just me and him, was like really great. And I remember the first time we ever did our podcast, we brought up to him, he did a commercial for Trix, and we were geeking out. So obviously, Dumb and Dumber is my favorite movie of all time. So I was just like. And he gave a whole backstory to that whole scene with because it was all improvised. That whole fucking drinking the piss and the sounds he was doing. Oh no, he was doing the sound for something else. And one of the Farrelly brothers goes, "Will you throw that in on this take in the thing? Like at some point? Like isn't that crazy?"
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because for them to hear that and then to
repurpose yeah. Oh, he was some sort of a dolphin noise he was doing. He made it for some other thing, and they were like,
animal noise.
Either they told him to do that or he did it instinctively. Either way, it was just like a great little tidbit. But so he was in this Trix commercial, and we pulled it up and showed it to him. He was like, I haven't watched that since I did it, but you should pull it up at one point. It's like a very, like when, cereal commercials were, I mean, not that they're not big now, but I mean, come on, man. Any commercial back in the day when there were less channels and there was, and cereal, was not getting such a bad rap for, pesticide shit being on them. I was telling you guys this last night, or maybe you weren't in the conversation, about I was in Buffalo and General Mills is out there, and it was just when the story had come out where General Mills cereals, Cheerios, maybe Cinnamon Toast Crunch, they were putting some sort of weed killer stuff on the cereal to kind of keep it fresh and alive. And so we're driving by, and the guy was like, "Oh, there's General Mills," and he's like, "We're on the window," and literally from a far away distance, it smelled like fucking Cheerios in the air. Which is a Phil Collins song that did not make it on the album.
I love that.
Smells like Cheerios. That is not Phil Collins at all. Who was that? That was a backup singer for Tracy Chapman, who was like, dude, I wrote a couple songs. She was like, shut the fuck up.
What's your favorite Jen Blossom song?
Oh, boy. Probably Hey Jealousy. No, sure. Follow Me Down. Follow You Down.
Yeah.
Follow Me Down? Anywhere you go, I'll follow you down.
That's good. I took a picture of their star whenever All Things Comedy. We worked our way over to Tempe somehow.
Yep.
And took a picture of their star. So I wanted you to know that. It was important to me.
Wait, are they from there?
I guess they're from there.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
That's a Jen Blossoms. Get this.
That's awesome.
It is.
Yeah,
You're awesome.
Seattle, dude. Thank you, man. I was gonna keep talking, but we probably should wrap it up. How long have we done?
For 4 hours. This is.
We did 90 minutes, right?
Yeah, that's good, man.
Oh, boy. See, I love my dad so much. When he's sending me these selfies, God, he is fucking looking old right now. He sends me these selfies that are great to be like he just had his appointment and it went well, whatever. But, like, he doesn't smile a lot in the selfie, so he just sends these, like, mug shots.
Looks like a troubled old...
Yeah, dude. And he just sent it to me, and I love him so much. But he just sent it to me, and I go, God damn it, Dad. Is this, like, are you driving to the coffin? Like, what are you...
You're upsetting me with these selfies, actually. Oh, my God. Well, let's get you out of here so you can get some lunch.
All right, man.
We have great shows all weekend.
Thank you so much.
Follow Adam Ray online on Instagram.
At Adam Ray Comedy and all that. About Last Night podcast.
So many good things happening, man.
Thanks, bud.
Keep up the great work.